Hey, what's up? It's Kay, and today we'll be celebrating 5,000 followers on Facebook, and actually I think it's 5,100 something, and then I have like over over 500 followers on YouTube. So that is awesome. I wasn't really expecting that, so I decided to do a Q&A video for my followers. So I think that's a good idea. So I posted something on my Facebook page and see like how many questions do you guys have for me, and how many like people were interested in asking questions for me. So I had some pretty, I guess, good numbers. Well, I only got a few, but I still appreciated it. It's still enough to make a video from it, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer those questions for you, and some of them are really pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and answer that, and I have my phone here. Let's take a look and we'll answer that for you, or actually I'm gonna answer that for you guys and see what you think. Okay, all right, let's see here. I'm just gonna open my page. I've never done this before, so yeah, I'm gonna cut some parts for on this video. So if you've never seen my Facebook page, you know, maybe just discovered me on YouTube, you can just search for Hey It's K. Maybe I'll put my link on my page on my description box down below so that you can see what I do on my Facebook page. Yeah, so I am seeing a good number of questions here. Let's go ahead and start with the very first one. So this is one of my, I guess, one of the people I met in the community. He's also one of the few followers I know that, you know, likes my posts a lot. His name is John Allen de los Santos. So John asked, what is more important in framing a shot? Telling a story, light and shadow, or composition? All of them are actually important for me. I like telling a story on my photos. I don't normally do like point and shoot like most like photos you see in Gundam communities. I try to avoid that, just to what's the word for it, just to set the bar high, because you know, I want people to see new things in the community, and you know, photoshopping photos is one of the things I really like. So when they see something that they don't normally see, you know, it sets a photo, you know, they'll see a photo that has a story on it, and then the lighting is great. It sets it apart from the normal photos. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but if I only get to choose one, I think well, I think I really need to yeah, just choose one. I think it's gonna be light. If you have good lighting in your room, or if your photo has good lighting, it will always make a good photo. Because I've seen some photos where, yeah, they were, I guess, in a way telling a story, but the lighting was bad, you know, the shadows were there, and you really want to try to avoid shadows. Well, that's just my opinion. I don't really like shadows on my photo. It really depends on the photo, but I try to avoid shadows as much as possible, or at least lessen the shadows, and make sure my lighting is good on every photo. So I hope that answers your question, John. Thank you for that awesome question. Actually, that's the only unrelated to that's the only question that's unrelated to Gundam actually that I received. Next question: what got you into doing photography with Gunpla, or I guess Gundam figures, and how did you start? Alright, this takes me back in the late 90s. This is back when Endless Waltz kits came out. So if you guys still remember, or if you guys grew up in the 90s, we got all these Endless Waltz kits, right? High grades and 1/100 scales kits, but it's more of, I think it's only the high grades that has this. If you still have the Endless Waltz high-grade boxes. On the side box you will see these interesting photo shots of the painted kits, and it has all these lighting. Like I remember the heavy arms like doing this awesome like open fire pose, and the Gatlings were lighting up. So that actually made me want to do the same thing. But back then, since I was still young, I didn't know how they do it. Like I didn't know if there were LED lights in it. I didn't know if it was Photoshop. I actually had no clue. After I graduated, after I graduated college, I had more time, you know, doing whatever. So I decided to play with Photoshop, and up to now I still don't know the technicalities of it. I just really just mess with it and discover new things. And it's been like 3 years, actually no, it's been 7 years since I started doing Photoshop, and I'm still learning. There's still things that I don't really know what to do or how to do it. So most of the stuff that I do in Photoshop are still the same thing over and over again. You guys should notice that too on my photos. It's the same effect every day or on every photo. So yeah, that's how I got into toy photography. It's mainly because of those box arts on the side panels of the Endless Waltz box. They are really awesome, and that's what inspired me to create photo manipulated pictures using my figures and my kits. Thank you for the question, by the way, Henry. So this is from Henry de la Cerda. Thanks, Henry, again. All right, Dakota Casey has another question. This one's funny. He has a good eye on my photos too. So he said, or he's asking, how in the world did I get my hands on the Super HCM Pro Unicorn, and aren't they super rare? Okay. Well, one, it's not really super rare, but if you're trying to find a Super HCM Pro Unicorn figure that's really affordable compared to like the ones that they're really selling out there, because normally it's being sold for $200. So if you get something that's about less than 120, then yeah, I think finding something in that range is really difficult to find. But it's not rare. It's just finding a decent price for the figure is hard to find. I think that's how I understood it. But how I found my unicorn figure, but if anyone's curious, let me just get something. If anyone's curious, this is the Super HCM Pro Unicorn. Alright, in the flesh. Just your, you know, regular unicorn figure, but the only difference is it's in 1/144 scale. It's very articulate, the details are great, but this thing transforms into unicorn mode. So this is the only unicorn figure you'll have in 1/144 scale that can transform to unicorn mode. So just an example, like say on this one, the shield actually collapses and goes back to the regular, you know, unactivated shield. The thighs, it collapses too, look. So it can actually go back to unicorn. It can actually go to the unicorn mode, and that's pretty amazing if you ask me. That was the unicorn figure, but to answer your question, where did I get it? I found the figure in this local shop back when I was still in the Philippines. I remember it was my 1-year anniversary in that position I got, and I got my sign-in bonus. So I decided to celebrate my 1-year anniversary in that workplace by buying a figure. Now I was fully aware back then like how hard it is to find a figure, but on that local shop they had this really big storefront display of figures. So they were displaying it, but you won't notice it because they had tons of kits and figures displayed in front of the store. But when I was looking at the figures, this is, oh shoot, let's see, this is where I noticed the Super HCM Pro Unicorn. It was all the way in the left side of the display area, in the corner, sitting in the corner, getting ignored. And I was like, holy shit, it's the Super HCM Pro figure, and no one's buying it because it was hidden in the corner of the storefront, in front of the how do you say that? It's displayed in front of the store, but it's all the way in the corner. No one's noticing it. So, son of a bitch. So no one's noticing it. So I decided, fuck it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, and I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna find it anywhere in the Philippines after purchasing that. So I purchased it for about $100. So that's about 4,200 Philippine peso. So it was very expensive for a 1/144th scale figure, but it was really hard to find, and you can't really find something like that around that price. So I think I found a good deal on that one. So I hope that answered your question, Dakota. But thank you for the awesome question. And like I promised, I'm gonna help you find that figure. Yes, I'm gonna send you a message on Facebook as soon as I find one. Next question: what is your favorite MS design so far, and what is the worst in your opinion? Well, the G Gundam sucked. Those stereotypical mobile fighters and the G Gundam sucked. But other than that, if we're gonna stay away from that, I think the Astray is like the other ignored Astray Gundams in the MSV or in the Astray series are fucking ugly. And I'm gonna put pictures of those Astray units that I hate so much there in the video. I also don't like the beginning Gundam. I think that's a horrible design. For Iron-Blooded Orphans, I really hate the Chimaris. That thing is ugly, but exception for the Chimaris Trooper, that thing is awesome. So yeah, those are the MS designs that I don't I don't really like. Next question. Oh, thank you also George Vasquez for this awesome question. Alright, next question is from Shikai Hawken. Who is your favorite character? Also, who is your most hated character? I have a type of favorite in every Gundam series. I always love the ace pilots. These are characters in the Gundam franchise that doesn't have any special ability. So there's quite a number of them. So you have Shiro Amada, you have Ko Uraki, Ana Delgado, Norris Packard, Ram Baral, Christina McKenzie, although she really got beaten by a Zaku using a Gundam. Bernie from no, not 08 MS, War in the Pocket. So Bernie was awesome. He defeated a Gundam using a Zaku. So yeah, those are my favorite type of characters in every Gundam franchise. It's always the ace pilots, but if you ask me, it's Ko Uraki and Ana Delgado. Those are my most favorite ones. Thank you for that awesome question. Oh, for alternate universe, it's Garrett Rand. So, because I think I only mentioned Universal Century pilots. So for alternate timeline, it's Lock-on Stratus and Lock-on Stratus and Garrett Rand, yeah. Alright, next question. What was your first Gundam experience and when did you start your collection? Which was your favorite Gundam figure or model kit? This was submitted by Paulo Martins. I got into Gundam in 1995. This is mainly because of my father, who sent me VHS tapes of 0083 Stardust Memory. I was 5 years old when that happened. That made me love Gundams, and also my dad built model kits also, so he bought me a couple of interesting model kits back then. So I had the what was it, the old 1144 scale F90V kit. So that was my, I guess, first model kit. This was back in 95. And then Endless Waltz came in, or Gundam Wing came in, but I didn't really love it as much as most people did. But that also, like, I guess contributed in me loving Gundams also, because everybody loved Gundam Wing. When I started my collection in 2003, this was back when the Gundam fixed figuration line started, way back in 2003. As soon as the first one came out, I went ahead and bought it, and then 2 years after that I bought the what was it, fixed figuration GP04 and the GP02A Physalis. And then from there I bought a couple of MSIA figures, mainly the Char's counterattack figures, so the new Gundam, Sazabi, Toga, and the Riga Z. And then when I graduated college in 2010, this is where I started really, like, aggressively buying figures from the Gundam fixed figuration line. And that was it. So from 2000, it really just started in 2010. Started buying a lot of stuff I started in 2003, started buying a lot of stuff in 2010, and then it grew from there. As for my most favorite figure, let's see. I think most of you guys already know what my favorite is, because I use him a lot in my photos. My most favorite is the SCM EX RX 782. I love the proportions. It's very articulate. I think it's the most articulate RX 782 figure that we have, but it's really hard to find. So I fucking love this guy. But thank you for that question. I hope that answered your question. Do the next. Why does everyone hate Gundam Seed Destiny? I think it's more of, I don't know. I just hate it. I don't like the recycled scenes. Gundam Seed, the characters from Gundam Seed were awesome, I think, in my opinion. I mean, they were okay. The series ended okay. But the way they transitioned to Gundam Seed Destiny, for me, kind of ruined the character development. My most favorite character was Mulaflaga, and they kind of ruined his image in Gundam Seed Destiny, and I hated the crying. A lot of crying, a lot of girls crying. I don't like it. So yeah, I just hate it. Mainly the recycled scenes and the character development, I don't like it. Alright, next question. Oh yeah, that was submitted by Michael Arsenio. Thank you, Michael. Renz Tapawan asks, if you were given a chance to live in one Gundam universe, and what would it be, and what will you be piloting? Any Gundam universe, right? So mine would be Gunpla beginning G, because I think that's more realistic to what we live in now, so compared to like Gundam build fighters. So yeah, I'll be using this guy, if you would consider it, because he's pretty unique in a way. Let's see here. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be using this guy. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with that R782? It's too fast. It looks weird. Let's see here. Justin Singh asks, how long have you been experienced with building a model kit? Does your wife support your hobby? How long have I building kits? 1 year, because most of the all these from 2013 to 2017 I was detailing figures, but I wasn't really building kits. So I started building kits last year. So far I've only, of all the kits I built, I sold most of them, or I gave them away. And because I thought I was gonna like it, but I didn't. But the ones I really like was the Turnation. That one's awesome. I love the proportions and the design. Lightning Zeta. This was given to me by a good friend. Thank you, Kevin. And I'm still undecided if I'm gonna like this. I'm recently working on the Barbatos Lupus Rex. Yeah. Oh, Barbatos Lupus, and I'm gonna get the Lupus Rex in a few weeks. And does your wife support my hobby? Sometimes she does, sometimes she don't. Sometimes, you know, she gives me Gundams as gifts, you know, and that's really cool. But she hates how I spend most of my time working on Gundams and less time with her. So I kind of feel bad every time I do that, and that's why she hates my Gundams, because I spend more time on my Gundams than I spend with my wife. So yeah, I'm sorry, wife, if you're watching this. But yeah, I'm gonna try and change that too. But yeah, but she does support it. But as long as, you know, I save up, make sure my money is like running, or my savings is going up, and at the same time I don't buy as much, you know, just keep things normal and, you know, be a responsible adult. Thank you for that awesome question, Ken. Edam Haikwa asks, what did you do when some of the parts was broken? Try and fix it with super glue. If not, just throw it away and buy something new. I hope that answers your question. Alright, Raha Iskandar, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. What is the best Gundam series do you like? Best Gundam series, 0083 Stardust Memory. Oh wait, yeah, that and 08 MS Team. But those are OVAs. But for me, if it's series that we're talking about, I am enjoying Iron-Blooded Orphans currently. So I think for me that's my current favorite. So yeah, thank you for that question. Alright, Raha Iskandar again asks, what is your favorite Gundam? Like, if you're piloting any fleet, what will be your ride and your own? What will you be calling your custom Gundam? I don't know. My favorite Gundam is the GP01 Zephyranthus. I think that's awesome. That's my most favorite. Full Vernian. Well, GP01 or GP01 Full Vernian, but I just prefer just the Zephyranthus. So I hope that answers that question. I think that unit is awesome. Francisco Rosario asks, which 5 Gundam series would you recommend for someone who wants to get into Gundam? Also, any tips on building, or for people beginning with model kit building? Let's see, that's a hard question, but Iron-Blooded Orphan is pretty good. You can try Gundam Build Fighters and the Gundam Build Fighters Try. That's also what I would recommend. Gundam X is also good. I like that. If you're gonna get into Universal Century, just be patient with the animation since it's really old. But I would also recommend to try the very first Gundam series and watch it all the way till, you know, till the unicorn side of things. But yeah, Gundam 00 is also good. How many custom builds do you have? I only have 2. Let me get them for you. Alright. So what I have is the SEM. These are not really kits, but it's more of custom painted figures. I have the SEM EX RX-782 Char Asnable Custom. So when the SEM EX line released these figures, they didn't really have this variant, so I went ahead and made one for myself. So I'm actually loving this. So this is the regular colors, and this is my custom painted one. Next is my GM Type C Frostbite. Let's see here. There you go. This is my GM Type C Frostbite. It has the GFF GM Type C head. It has the Robot Damashi Victory Gundam backpack. It has the GFF Heavy Gundam frame launcher repainted to blue, and then you have your standard fixed figuration GM space type shield. And yeah, so this is one of my customs. This also was possible because one of my friends helped me in painting it, but it's the modding was mostly done by me, and the paint scheme was also done by me. The decal application was also done by me. Vic just helped me painting the whole thing. But yeah, I hope so. Yeah, thank you for that question. So thank you guys for providing me with all these questions. I really appreciate you guys following my page. I know I don't post a lot of like Photoshop pictures now. It's really just the time and the mood for me to do it, and sometimes I had all these crazy ideas, but I don't have the figures or the kits needed to make these photos. But I have something planned, so I hope you guys will like that once I get the necessary kits for the photo. As for my YouTube channel, I wasn't expecting to hit 500 subscribers, so hopefully it grows more. Hopefully we reach the next milestone and hit 1,000, and I'm looking forward to that. So thank you guys for all those questions. Thank you for supporting my page and my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video, or maybe on Facebook. If you want to talk, just send me a private message. Peace.